Okay, Tommy. So Ohio's top talent, OAC. The Rowlands boys, all three wrestled today, yeah?
All three wrestled, yep.
You were in two different divisions, though, right?
Yeah. We had Tommy in Division 4, and then the twins wrestled Division 3. It's their first year in Division 3, so.
So they're the bottom.
They're at the bottom, yeah. And they had plenty of good competition. They had plenty of good things that they did and plenty of things to work on, so it was a good day.
I love that you come to these things, you get fired up, but you're not out of your mind. You do get fired up.
So far, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So far. But not getting out of your mind, not like getting out of control.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think you've ever been out of control,
right.
ever, even as a college coach. But what's it like staying even keel, not letting your kids see that maybe you're a little fired up about something?
I think it's difficult, but, you start to invest a lot of time in the kids. You start to see the time that they invest. And, naturally you start to get a little bit more emotional than when it's first grade wrestling. But I think the whole thing is not really the outcome or the result. It's just making sure that the effort's there. And then as they're getting older, it's more than just effort. I want to see that they're actually applying what we're doing in practice, that they're getting in these critical situations and they're doing the right things. And that's sometimes what gets me a little bit, emotional. But overall, it's just, it's part of the sport. It's that's the type of sport that it is. So I think it's good to have that in these kids' matches and in their lives.
Super long day for you.
Yeah.
We kept trying to do an interview,
Yeah.
And then what was really cool about it is one time I was like, you were like, oh no, we can fit it in. And I was like, no, I really don't want to mess with that, because I feel bad if someone missed a match because they're doing an interview for promotional purposes or whatever. But when you're here and you're all in on it like you are, how good does it feel? Do you ever get like Ohio State flashbacks, or is there any of that?
I don't know that it feels quite like competing, but it definitely fills my cup when it comes to wrestling. And I feel like I'm involved in the sport enough to where I don't ever regret leaving it, and I get to see the process of practice and see the outcomes in the matches and go back to the salt mines and correct things and fix things. And obviously it's a great sport where many characteristics that make great adults are taught and founded in wrestling. And so obviously having my kids and people that I'm growing to care about in our youth club, it's just a good overall sport for that. And so I'm very happy to continue to keep involved in wrestling. I don't know if I'd be the same person if I didn't have it.
It's never the Tommy Rowlands show to me. Like, it's always like about your kids. I really like that. No, seriously, like I appreciate that. Well, I do. What's awesome about it is, do they really know? I mean, how old was Tommy when you were in Iowa City in 2012?
Tommy was 2 years old.
2 years old. The twins weren't born.
Iowa City. The twins were a year old.
They were a year old. Wow.
So
and then your daughter was?
She was
5
years old.
5 years old.
5 years old, yeah.
So they don't remember a lot of this. They don't know a lot of Dad's history.
Right.
And if they do, they come across it maybe. I'm guessing you're not showing them NCAA finals or anything like that. What is that like for them to discover things about Dad that maybe you're not telling them about your career? Because it's just never about you, is what I feel whenever I talk to you, when I watch you conduct yourself, when I see media on you, anything about you, never about Tommy Rowlands.
I appreciate that. And I think that it's important for my kids to feel like, they're paving their own path, because when they walk out there, they're not taking anything that I did out there with them. They're not taking anything but themselves out there. So it's important for them to view it as theirs. I mean, this wrestling is theirs. The story is theirs. Everything that unfolds out there is completely theirs. But by the same token, I think they feel, I think they understand the privilege of growing up in a home where wrestling was very cultural and part of my life. And I think they understand that that's a good thing for them. It's an advantage for them. I don't think they feel pressure to be like that. I think they want to, but I don't think they feel pressure to, which is good. I don't know that's always going to be the case, but it's something that I do pay attention to. I teeter-totter and make sure that it's managed properly. But it's the truth about wrestling is when you walk out there, you're taking yourself and nothing else with you. So it's important for them to understand where they come from and understand what they're around, but at the same time, you can't take any of it with you. And so that's what's awesome about wrestling. It doesn't matter if you come from humble beginnings and you don't have much, or if you have a lot, when you go out there, none of it comes with you. So it's just you, and I think that's what's great about wrestling.
Daughter's Ellie, right?
Ellie, yeah, she's 14, just turned 14.
Is she taller than Mom yet?
Yes, she is. She's 5'6". A couple more years, Mom will be the shortest in the family.
Yes. So your daughter's probably going to be over 6 foot.
I think they only think she's got another inch or two. I think they're thinking 5'7",
Really?
5'8".
I thought she was going to be
girls
6
take
foot.
off a little sooner than
That's
guys.
true.
So yeah.
Is she soccer right now?
She's all soccer.
Because your wife was soccer, right?
My wife played soccer at the University of Kentucky and was a big part of her life. And my daughter's been pretty into soccer, and she plays for a really good club, Ohio Premier in Columbus, and does a good job on a really competitive team. And it's becoming important to her. And the school she's going to go to, Watterson, they're always top 5, 6, 7 in the state in Division I. So she'll step right into a good environment there. So it's good.
Okay, so you're a Reedy guy. This whole thing, I talked to the Shoe Law kid.
Yeah.
I'm friends with like Tom Walbacher and Nick Preston. You got to live in of course I know that DeSabato is your favorite.
Yeah.
But you got to live in the district.
Yeah.
You have to live within the Catholic district in which you attend in the Columbus area with your diocese, correct?
I feel like I know enough to be dangerous with those rules. I don't know.
It's weird to me.
Yeah, so there's
you're West Columbus, right?
Yeah, unlike Cincinnati and Cleveland, there's 5 or 6 Catholic high schools in Columbus, and you have to live in that district. Otherwise, you have to get a signature from the principal in your district that you're going to go to this neighboring.
They have to release you, essentially.
They have to essentially release you. But then there's also some caveats. For example, if your parents went to high school at the high school that you don't live in, that district, you automatically get to go. There's a legacy.
So your kids could go to Reedy?
They could go to Reedy. Yeah, they could go to Reedy.
Okay.
Yes.
Obviously, that's not a thing that's not on your radar.
Watterson's the move, but they could.
Where'd your
to
wife
Reedy.
go?
She went to Hilliard Derby.
She went to Derby, so that's not.
Yeah.
That's a public.
So we live in Dublin, and we go to a feeder school that is predominantly Watterson. It's about I don't know 80% Watterson, 20% Reedy. So a lot of it has to do with most of their friends will be there, so that's where we're gonna go.
Got it. Okay. So I know that Ellie did Ellie's Jellies, and was she on Fallon? What was she on?
Fallon, Jimmy Fallon.
She was on Fallon, right? So you got like this like industrious nature about you, this business-minded nature. You're in produce. You know, Rudis is one of your things that you do.
Right.
Where does this come from? Why are the Rowlands as such business-minded? I guess I would say.
I don't know where it came from for me personally, but I've always just had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I work in the produce industry. But the owner of the company makes me feel like a piece of the company is mine, so I have that entrepreneurial itch that's being scratched every day. I'm a partner with him on a freight logistics company that Mike Pasillo runs. And then Rudis.
So Pasillo runs that.
The freight portion, yes.
Mike runs that.
Mike runs it, and we got.
They don't make them better than Mike Pasillo.
Keith Witt, Cody Magram, we got Cody Bircher, we got a bunch of wrestlers.
Really?
That are selling
that many?
Yeah. It's been.
Witt's gonna have a kid soon. Look
out!
Right.
That's
Look
right.
out!
And Magram just had one.
Yes. So having all these wrestlers underneath you, it's purposeful. It's not.
Yeah,
it is on
absolutely.
purpose.
Yeah. No.
Why?
I just think that there's a fundamental grit that most wrestlers possess if they spent a long enough time in it. You know, I think that especially in sales or business, you really got to be confident yet understand that you have to be on your toes at all times, and sales guys especially understand that. So, you know, to be rejected and then continue to come back for more and somehow like that process is somewhat of a unique skill, and wrestlers have it in spades if you find the right wrestlers, right? So they just understand how to get up and go and get up and work, and they like that there's a scoreboard. They like that we keep track of who's doing what, when, where, how, and why, and how good we're doing and how good we're not doing, and how much we need to progress and what's the plan. You know, most competitors gravitate towards that. Well, most people in the world don't want to be measured every day, and so wrestlers are okay with that. So because of that, we look to find wrestlers or ex-athletes or people that just like to compete.
How scary is it entering a shoe market? Terrifying?
Well, it was, yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a lot of research and development, a lot of cost, a lot of capital investment, a lot of time, a lot of resource, and it still is quite a journey. But I feel like now we have a full merchandising package. Our supply chain is locked in. The product, I think, now speaks for itself, and it's still intimidating, still a lot of risk, but the reward is there. It's great. It's foundational. It's the one piece of equipment that a wrestler really truly relies on. So it's cool to be a part of that. It's cool to know that you're designing and developing equipment that wrestlers really truly have an opinion that matters on it. It impacts their performance. So it's been a great journey, and we're going to keep going, and there's more to come for sure.
How do you keep people like Kyle Snyder? How do you keep these individuals? You know, you've entered some new people.
Yeah.
Pletcher, Colin Moore. You keep the younger guys. And then you do this legacy. You got a lot of the Dave Schultz stuff. How do you keep the superstar, the guy, the superstar? Between him and Jordan Burroughs, there are faces, right? Of USA Wrestling. They're Olympic gold medalists. How do you keep people like that under your brand?
I think they got to believe in what the brand stands for, the ethos of the brand, what it means to them, to the sport, how it speaks to them. I think that's first and foremost. And then I think secondly, they got to feel like they're involved in a company with a group of people that expect the same standard of excellence from themselves that these guys do on the mat. And so I feel like we have that at Rudis, and so we forge pretty authentic and natural bonds with the people that we work with, because we're in it to win it. You know, we want to do great things with wrestling, but we also want to compete and do great things as a company and as a business. And so that's always paramount. Is just the brand has to stand for something. It's got to matter to the people that join the brand. And then, you know, we got to work in a way that is world class, that's Olympic level, right? And so when we try to elevate ourselves to that standard, I think these guys, even if they don't explain it the same way that I am, I think they feel that, and I think that they're drawn to it. At least that's my opinion, my humble opinion. And it's kind of like, you earn that every day. So you can't just do that one day or one time or 1 year. I mean, you earn that type of trust and that type of relationship on a daily basis. So we feel like everything I just said, we got to prove and we got to do and we got to execute on a daily basis, which is not my deal. I mean, I'm not in the company at all from an execution or time perspective, but I do know that that's the culture that Jesse Lang wields, and it comes from wrestling. I mean, that's just wrestling talk. I mean, so.
How much longer? You guys just dropped a 2.0 shoe, Kyle. How much longer do you guys have him? And then obviously it goes into, do you know how much longer you even have him under?
I think Kyle's going to be around for a long time. I know that we'd love to have him around for a long time. I just think that he stands for what's great about wrestling, what Rudis means personified, right? It's people like Dave Schultz and Kyle Snyder and others. And I know that we're going to do everything we can to continue to keep him a part of our family. And I think he does feel like he's a part of the family. So.
Last thing, when are we going to see like a reboot or a T-Row Funky type deal? When are you going to get back in the media? We want you. When are you going to get back?
Man, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. 4 kids, part of 3 companies, and a lot of different things. I don't know if we'll ever get back to it, but I love it. I love being able to speak that way about wrestling.
Do you have anything else for me?
No, I appreciate everything that you do. I watch all your interviews and videos, and it's awesome. So
you don't have to lie. There's way too many to watch. Way too many ones that don't matter that you're watching. That it's just me doing nonsensical things.
Right.
Not even you can't watch the chainsaw ones. I got a lot of trees, Don. I got a lot of trees.
Running around in the front and backyard with your kids. You got a nice property, by the way.
No, it's real. Yeah, we love it. We love it. I just dropped a tree back there, and now we're cleaning it up. So, Tommy, thank you for the time. Congratulations on the title for little Tommy.
Yes.
Not Tommy Jr. Let's straighten that out real quick. What are the 4 Tommies?
My grandfather's Thomas Charles. My dad's Thomas Joseph. I'm Thomas David, and little Tommy's Thomas Ramsey.
Tommy, thank you for the time. Safe travels back to Columbus.
Thanks.